Alright. Who says that you can't use a 1/8 inch chain on a NuVinci bike hub? Well, NuVinci says that, but I don't believe it, because there's plenty of room I'm gonna go get some gloves. Alright, so I run KMC chains. They're pretty inexpensive. And one thing that's bothered me recently is that they stretch out really fast. Especially when you use them on a mid-drive motor setup. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I change my chain like every 2 or 3 months, which isn't too bad. But it just seems like there's a better way. Now, Fallbrook, who makes the NuVinci hub, says because of the tight clearances between the shift interface and the chain and the dust cover, that you shouldn't run a 1/8 inch thick chain. You got to use a 3/32 inch chain, and I think that's true, especially if you use a small cog. The n360 came with a 18 tooth cog in the back, and I think that provides enough clearance that we can run a regular single speed 1/8 inch chain. The chain that I've been running is a KMC Z51, I think, rustbuster coating, so it's zinc plated. It's a nice chain. It works really well, but you know, with the BBS 02 motor, it provides enough torque that it really stretches the chain out before it even has a chance to wear out or rust. So what I'm going to try is this KMC Z410H nickel-plated chain. It's a single speed chain. Nickel-plated, which is nice. And it also uses a master link, which I kind of like. KMC's multi-speed chains use a thing they call a missing link, and it's not reusable. They say it's not reusable. It's kind of a pain in the ass, because once you get it in there, you can't just take it in and out. So this looks pretty good. Pretty good. I think it's going to work. So for anybody out there that's not opened up a chain before, one thing you want to do is make sure that you're opening up the right link. What I mean is that each link has an inner plate and an outer plate. And where you want to break the chain, at least on a master link setup, is where, so you leave yourself with an inner plate. Because the master link goes on the outside of the inner plate. KMC says this is a heavy duty chain. I believe it. It's pretty big. Come on. There we go. Alright, so KMC gives you this little bag with a little tiny master link setup. And you just poke in one end and the other end. And then the outer wall. And your clip. And I like to use a little flathead screwdriver just to push that clip in, and that's it. Get it centered on the cog back here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now I also like these MKS chain tensioners. They work really nice. Dial in just the right tension, back it off a little bit. Tighten down your axle nuts. And then you're good to go. A little too much tension on that chain. You don't want to get too much tension because you'll wear the teeth down on your cogs too fast. And that's part of the reason I'm trying to switch to a 1/8 inch chain from a 3/32 inch chain, is to delay that chain stretch as much as possible. Because when your chain length's stretched out, you can't really see it on there. Probably can't see it on the camera, but when your chain's stretched out, it changes the spacing, the rollers, where they hit the cogs, where they hit the valleys in the cogs between the teeth. And if those rollers are stretched out a little bit, they roll up high on the teeth and they grind them down. You get a shark's tooth. So that looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like. I don't know. Looks like maybe NuVinci was onto something there. Fallbrook was telling us not to run a 1/8 inch chain because those clearances are pretty tight. Pretty tight. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, so seems like we didn't have enough clearance. But if we can just move that cog over a little bit closer to the hub body, maybe that chain is going to clear the shift cables. Alright, so these NuVinci hubs are a little bit weird. When you take off the shift interface, you got to make sure it's dialed into either the top or the bottom of its range, because when you pull it off, you don't want to put it on in a different position, because then you're going to lose some of your capabilities. Ooh, all right. What do we got? We actually, I replaced this freewheel about a month ago because it wore out, and I replaced this dust cover around the same time because I broke a chain. It snapped, tore off the original dust cover. I actually made a new design, and I used my 3D printer and made a replacement, because that's not a part you can buy from Fallbrook, at least anymore. Alright, so what are we doing? Trying to get this thing as far as possible towards the hub body, and I think it is. Because I think it is. I don't know if I can push it any farther down. Unless I got a different cog. I got this one, but not really made for this type of cassette. It's only got 3 splines, and doesn't really fit on there. That's one that's made for the Shimano Nexus hub that I used to have. Same thing with this guy. Just doesn't quite fit. So I think I'm out of luck. But, you know, you might be able to get this thing to fit. The question is, well, we'll take the torque. With only 3 splines instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 splines. That's the thing. I don't know. don't know. But I can try. And one thing I don't want to do is screw up the freewheel on this. But no, I guess I just replaced it recently. So I can't fuck it up too bad. Let's buy another one. Huh. It doesn't feel bad. Let's see how it is. Alright. It's not like I got a new warranty on this hub anymore. These NuVinci hubs are really nice. This is a n360. Got a really good deal about 3 years ago on, but it's on its last legs. It started making a clicking sound when it's in its highest overdrive position. I don't like it. It doesn't sound good, but it seems to be okay. It's not, doesn't seem like it's affecting it too much in terms of operation. So just kind of waiting, see if it dies. Whew, alright, let's see. Carefully. one thing with these NuVinci hubs is that you want to run something like fork ins or slider dropouts, because basically like a single speed setup, which is kind of one more reason why it's annoying that you can't run a nice single speed chain on these, at least the way they come from the factory. The shifting setup on these, kind of nice. Got two shift cables, one on top and one on bottom, and they pull against each other. So the way you set it up, it pretty easy to adjust. All right. The chain on, get the shift interface on there. By using that offset hub, using that offset cassette, you get enough clearance that I don't hit my shift interface, and I can use a wider chain. Not bad. Let's see how it holds up. We'll see. Thanks for watching.